Welcome to Beyond the Press Release, a production of Gorecom, in which we take the time to speak with small cap executives right after they put out important news. With us today, back again after 3 days, is Cameron Schell, Chairman CEO of DraganFly, trades on the CSC under DFLY. For our friends in the US, DFLYF, and for our friends in Europe, 3U8. Now, for those of you new to the story, and that's going to be a ton of you because DraganFly has lit the market on fire in the last 48 hours. A little bit about the company. Most of us know drones as cool toys flying around the neighborhood, or maybe even a simple commercial application for things like real estate videos, island videos. But the fact of the matter is that huge corporations around the world are now testing ways to deliver packages, provide internet connections, and there's even a startup that's using unmanned drones to deliver tacos to your door. So in short, the industry is booming. The drone industry is booming in ways people can't imagine, but the one company that's gone beyond imagining and testing is DraganFly. They're an award-winning drone manufacturer and, more importantly, a technology developer that's actually delivering more than just lip service. Established in 1998, the oldest commercial drone company in the world, the first drone that saved a life, first drone to be inducted into the Smithsonian National Air and Space Museum. That's led to a plethora of clients in law enforcement, tier one corporations, some unbelievable things going on. And just now they announced that they're applying to the Nasdaq and relationship with Knightscope. Here to talk about is Cam. Welcome back, man.
Hi, George. Thanks for having us back. So appreciate being on your show and introduced to your networking community.
Well, look, we had you on here on January the 10th. It was a great interview. We covered everything about the company.
You're amazing. It really was a great one.
1,700 views so far on YouTube so far. And then boom, all this came out. Congratulations today. Up 55%, 9.9 million shares. Let's call that 10 million. I think we could safe rounding that up. And an all-time high of $2.06. Let's start with the Nasdaq news. Sure. We know that's big, and we know the obvious things about why people go to the Nasdaq, which is a great goal to have. What are you seeing? What are you and your team seeing today about DraganFly that means it's going to be ready for the Nasdaq later this year?
Yeah, I think a couple of things have really stood out for us. First of all, we have engaged a well-known mid-market New York-based banker. We've been working with them for about 1.5 years in preparation of moving this. We've very meticulously been planning and plotting and then executing our plan in order to get to this spot. We do have a strong acquisition strategy for 2021. But even with those acquisitions, it's going to be hard to outpace our organic growth. We think it's just that significant what's unfolded for us. So moving to the Nasdaq is going to give us that exposure to a larger institutional base, to a larger investor base, and into a higher valuation parameter that we think is going to be really important in turn, ensuring that our acquisitions that we do going forward are going to be accretive. We also qualify under multi-jurisdictional disclosure system. So it doesn't mean that we have to do new or separate filings or anything with the SEC. It's a NASDAQ application, and this is significant.
Okay, that's handy.
Really streamlines the process. So it's been an exciting 6 months leading up to this. But we think we're ready, and we've had some positive feedback so far.
And that explains why you said in our interview, I'm going to quote you, I'll build the company into one of the top 3 drone companies in the world. You said that just in an interview on January 10th. So I guess you had a really good idea of what was coming down the pipe in the next couple of days, let alone the next few months, if you've been planning this out for quite a while.
We have, and it's a bold statement to make, and I certainly hope it doesn't come across arrogant, but really where DraganFly is positioned, and where I think that in particular the US market the US investing market appreciates what DraganFly is doing, is that, like some people would call us a drone company. Some people would call Tesla a car company. The reality is we're an AI and a data company that happens to manufacture drones. The innovation, the payloads, the AI, what we're driving into the quote unquote drone industry today is having the same effect of bringing a total solution, and revolutionizing that entire industry. Just like Elon Musk's car company, if I can call it a car company, is revolutionizing, the entire powered industry, or is revolutionizing the entire rideshare industry, or revolutionizing the entire gig economy, that is the same effect that's happening, whether it's our drone delivery services with, the leading, one of the leading vaccine distributors in the US, whether it's our AI technology that literally over this Zoom call, I can take your heart rate, your respiratory rate, your blood oxygen level, and your blood pressure just from the camera AIs that we have developed. Whether it's our spraying technology that provides 24-hour sequestration and kill efficacy for pathogens that we spray across stadiums.
Powerful video. That video of the drone spraying the stadium is unbelievable.
What we understand clearly, because we've been at this business so long, is that it's not about the drone, right? It's about the data, and it's about the end result that the drone. So customers come to us for a total solution. That's why I believe we have a shot at being the biggest or one of the biggest drone companies in the world. Now, notwithstanding other manufacturers like DJIs of the world, they'll be the biggest, low cost producer of drones. Well, just like, other car manufacturers.
Listen, Toyota's probably going to outsell Tesla for years as a car. But if you're looking for more than a car, then Tesla is the, like you said, all three of the elements that you said earlier. And I think that's where
if you're looking for a brand that will resonate not just with customers and with our end users and with the impact on society, but also with investors, the valuation goes to those companies that make that type of an impact and aren't trying to produce a low-cost device. It's the total solution. And anyway, so
I love that analogy. Thanks for saying that and helping people at home, because we've already been trying to pound that home. But you using that example of Tesla, Tesla's they're not just a car company at the end of the day. Their technology is best displayed inside of cars and best delivered with cars, but they're way more than that, and so is DraganFly. So more than just lip service. You had your second announcement with Knightscope. I loved this announcement, Cam, and I told you why, because I fell in love with this company, and I've been a huge fan of theirs from the time they started running their little security robot ads on CNBC. For those of you who know home but don't know who they are, they're a leader in developing autonomous security capabilities. Essentially R2D2 and C3PO. Monitoring your entire your factory, your warehouse, whatever your location might be, and using artificial intelligence to potentially even predict crimes that may be happening. So they selected DraganFly's vital intelligence technology. How big is this in terms of third-party validation of DraganFly being exactly what you said a minute ago, a technology company first?
Well, so Knightscope is very sophisticated, and they understand the bigger picture of what they're doing, and they're not just a device builder either. They've been around for a long time. I think they've got about 12,000 shareholders, if I'm not mistaken. They've raised well over $40 million, maybe closer to $50 million to deploy their technology. They've got a really neat business model where they don't go out and sell the drone. They put it on location on a per hour basis. That's at a lower cost than what you could put a security guard out there, but with much more functionality.
Sure.
Kevin O'Leary has endorsed it. They've got some really sophisticated people behind them, and they went through a really thorough process. Now, we just didn't announce that we're going to do a deal with Knightscope, or that it's, hey, we got a partnering or a teaming agreement. We have integrated our technology into their autonomous robots. We have deployed. So their autonomous robots today now have the ability to actually take vital signs. Now, you think about that not just from a security perspective, but you think about it from a first responder perspective. Yep. If somebody's having, a mental condition or a heart attack, or there's any emergency situation, or they're nervous, or you've got somebody suspicious on a property, and now the autonomous robot is actually able to take their heart rate and their respiratory rate and their blood oxygen levels, and this is and that's now all recorded, so that you've got actual evidence as to what's happening to a situation, or as first responders are showing up, they've got advance notice of the information, or critical situational analysis up front. It's game changing. It's game changing.
And you turn Knightscope into more than just a premises monitoring and security company now, because there's so much more that goes on your premises than just security, right? There are people always there. Things are always happening. So now you've just made them even more powerful. So I thought that
it
was
now becomes a critical resource for the people that are on location. Again, whether they're customers or users
right.
or employees, but this is a critical resource that's now important to have on there, not just for security reasons, but actually for public safety reasons. So, and they open their, they put us through the paces to put this technology on board, but they're huge advocates right now.
That's what I want to ask you. That's actually right here. What kind of rigorous testing did you go through? Because they're a very serious company, and they're so well known now. They have a brand to protect. They must have really put you guys through the ringer, which to me also speaks to the third party validation that DraganFly is an incredible technology company.
Yeah, well, we have a great engineering bench. We have a great AI bench. We're very customer service and very customer focused, and so the relationship is incredibly strong between us. There's deep respect. We went through lots of tough meetings, lots of tough engineer. Like there were lots of times where the two teams were frustrated with each other, but nobody ever lost that end goal in mind. And now we've deployed, and they have a completely differentiated product. That's always our goal at DraganFly, is that when we go to our customers, we want to give them a strategic advantage that nobody else has. And in the case of Knightscope, we have.
You've already hit the ground running with initial 5 orders that have been integrated and delivered. How big of an opportunity is this for DraganFly over the next couple of years? Because they're an exploding business, I think. So if you guys are right there with them, how big is this?
Sir, I'm not putting words in their mouth or making any projections here, but this is a thousands and thousands and thousands of autonomous robot market, and the economic model that right now, we had a good service fee model and integration fees and that type of stuff. But our economic model going forward is to have a reoccurring model where where they're charging, I can't reveal numbers or anything like that, but they're charging X per hour, for that autonomous robot being on site, and we're getting X per hour for our technology being on board. And the more value we add into our technology, the more that we'll be able to, they'll be able to upcharge their customer, and then we actually get additional.
Exactly.
Again, we wanted to partner deeply with them on that. They definitely put money up front and bought equipment and all that type of stuff because they wanted to know that they were serious as well. But these are the types of models, again, that we're not a drone company, right? We're a solution company, not just for the end user, but also for our customer. And so if we drive more value, we'll get more value, and we're building a reoccurring revenue base.
Yes or no on this question, because I don't want to take off to a tangent, but the first thing I thought about is any chance that they'll actually incorporate drones into their security capabilities? Because right now it's robots that are monitoring, I don't call it walking around, but floating around. Any chance, yes, no, you guys may be contemplating also integrating drones into their complete security capabilities? Because that seems to make sense.
If you think about any device out there, whether it's a drone, whether it's a car, whether it's building automation, whether it's an autonomous robot, they can all be connected now. And that's the type of technology and the vision here.
I know you're short on time, so I want to also touch on the Consumer Electronics Show. How's that going? And what are you guys getting what's most of the attention that you're getting from that?
Well, it's really interesting to be at CES now because it's entirely virtual. And so, I have the good fortune of participating in multiple CESs with companies and products before. And this is our first time really virtually trying this out. And it's starting to, it's really, this whole virtual conference thing, separate aside, is really starting to work. We did a webinar this afternoon to customers and the stakeholders. We had over 200 people at it. I can tell you that we were physically at a booth, massive, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars that are spent being there. At no one time would we have a captive audience of 200 people. So
half those 200 people may not even find you because just floating around.
And we know who all of them are, and now we've got relationships with them because we designated time. We're now talking about the event industry, but so I think there's a great format unfolding, and our team did an excellent job in terms of putting on an amazing presentation, a live demo of our vital intelligence technology working. Very interactive. We've got interviews with customers over the next few days, including Knightscope. So it's coming off very successful for us, but it's also really intriguing to see this new virtual conference industry.
Cam, congratulations on behalf of all shareholders for what you guys accomplished today in terms of your market cap and what you did in the capital markets. But more importantly, on the announcement of trying to make the move of the intent to make the move to Nasdaq. The partnership with Knightscope, that's fantastic. I think that's great. And the fact that you guys you gave us a little look into CES and how well you're doing there. Last question, can we take a break? Because January 10th, we had you on. Now can we take a break, or you're going to be back in 2 days with you've taken over the world?
Not at all.
Tongue in cheek.
Thank you for so much for having us back on.
Hey, you got it. You keep doing amazing things. We're going to make sure to be the conduit to shareholders, everyone, to find out what you're doing. For everyone at home, you've been watching or you've been listening by podcast to Cameron Schell. He's chairman CEO of DraganFly, trades on the CSE under DFLY, DFLYF in America, and 3U8 for our friends in Europe. You've heard what you've had to say. You've watched what he's had to say. Get to Agoracom, start your due diligence, get over the DraganFly website, do more due diligence. The drone market and the technology surrounding that, to us, this is us saying, is going to be unstoppable this decade. And you definitely want to do your due diligence with DraganFly. Thanks for joining us. Have an amazing day. See you next time.